What's up, guys? Today we are going to go through my overreactions, my surprises, and my panics so far for the NBA season. Let's go. What's good, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. It's Zack here, and we are going to break down the NBA. Recently, it's been a pretty sick year. It is living up to the hype so far. Like, you have the East, like, 3 through 11s, like, all 500. The West is crazy with a bunch of teams like you would think should be up there or down, like Minnesota's down, Dallas is down there. The Pelicans are playing the G League squad, but it's a crazy season so far. So today we're going to recap just a little bit, but mainly we're going to get into my overreactions, my surprises so far, and then like my panics that I'm going to go through. I'll break down a little bit more in a second what kind of that goes through, but we're going to do that for like the Western Conference teams, Western Conference players, Eastern Conference teams, and the Eastern Conference players. So stick around for that. If you guys haven't already, hit that subscribe button for your boy. Leave a like, comment what you think about the season so far, and let's get into it. So we had some crazy games recently. Wemby went absolutely insane with that unstoppable 50 ball. Jordan Poole was phenomenal as well. Giannis had one of the weirdest, basically 60-point games because Ron Holland missed those free throws at the end. I was kind of sad because the boy was shaking. He was sitting at the line, and I was like, when he missed that first one, I was like, nah, he ain't got it. Like, he's too fresh, but that's all right because I still like the guy. But I think I should talk about the Pistons later, honestly, so stick around for that. But my big recap was just last night. The Celtics and the Cavs played in the group play game for the NBA Cup, and I was looking forward to this game because I thought, this is it. I was like, even if the Cavs, like, lose and they don't, like, and they still impress me, I'm like, I'll buy in. I was like, I get it. They like turned it around. They got the new coach, and I think Garland and Mitchell and Mobley and Allen. I think they'll be good if they can do that against them. And I'm sorry, but I don't think the Cavs looked good at all last night. Basically, the Celtics do what they always do. They come in the game and they shoot the shit out of the ball. Like, it was just a classic Celtic barrage. Peyton Pritchard coming in. Horford, which no one gets it, but he always shows up for the big games like this. Like, he will come in, and no one's like, oh yeah, Al Horford. If he catch and shoot, like, they were just letting him shoot, and he was letting it fly. Tatum was great to end the first half as well. And, I mean, he was great throughout the game, but Jaylen Brown kind of struggled. But something really nice with him is this season he has looked to, like, really get those other stats, like the RA, like the rebound assists. He has actively trying to get on the glass. And then he's also trying to set his teammates up too. Sometimes you'd be like, just get an assist, JB. But even with Holiday's shooting struggle to start the year, the Celtics have looked so good. And I mean, this is what I thought when I broke down the Emirates Cup. I was like, the Celtics are gonna get the Cavs at home. The Cavs have played some good teams, but like they have played no one like the Celtics. And the Cavs come in and they were just flat-footed. The Celtics shot them out of the first half basically, and then the second half comes, and we get classic Boston basketball. Like, chuck up a three, chuck up another three, another possession. Oh, we'll let them score that bucket easy. Three, miss, clank, clank. Like, at one point, I think they were 18 of 25 for three. And I don't remember what they ended up with, but they just kept missing, and they had to find something else. And, I mean, Drew wasn't really able to steady the ship as he usually does. So that is where I did see the Cavs come back, and they fought back into the game. But I feel like, personally, from watching it, it wasn't as much of the Cavs fighting back as it was Boston just kind of let them back in the game. They weren't solid defensively. Their closeouts weren't as great. Niang was eating them alive on both ends of the floor. Like, you letting the G-Wagon do that to you. But it was a good game for sure. It ended up being a great one down the stretch. Tatum went clutch. Donovan Mitchell, man, I've said it before. He is just one of the best scoring talents in the NBA. He has this. He kept getting Kata switched onto him, and I mean, he just hit him with that nasty little Hardaway cross he's got, and then he comes back and he's able to go up and under. Like, he's got that spin move that no one sees coming. He hit it like, I think it went between like two players here right on the elbow, and he hit that spin move. I think he got fouled on the shot attempt, but like, I love watching Mitchell play. Another big takeaway I had was that Mobley finally realizing that, like, no one can really stop him if he just tries. Like, he was eating them alive too. In the end, I think it didn't really come down to like the Cavs losing as much as the Celtics let them back in the game. But I think this could have been an even bigger blowout, and I think it should have been a blowout because, as I thought before, you put this in a 7-game series, and I don't think the Cavs have it in them to keep up with the Celtics. I know Garland was horrible last night, and they still don't have Max Strus. Levert was basically like him too. So there's some factors, but also so they still don't have KPU, and so I don't know. I don't see the Cavs being much of a threat to Boston, if I'm being honest, but you never know. All right, next segment time. I just want to talk about the Celtics-Cavs game because that game was incredible. But so basically, we're going through overreactions, surprises, and panics. We're going to do it for the teams and the players, both conferences. Basically, my guidelines. Overreaction, it was just like me being like, if I say it to you, you're going to be like, what? Like, what is he saying? For surprises, it's something that personally made me think sheesh, okay, boy, okay, that's shocking to me. And then panic, you slam in that red button. You said red alert because things aren't looking good. But that's kind of like the little parameters, I guess, for this. But Western teams, we're gonna start off my overreaction, and I'm so big on this team. I love them. I love them coming into the season. I wasn't too sure how they were gonna play out the rest of the season, but it's the Phoenix Suns. They're my overreaction because I think that they have no shot without Kevin Durant. And I mean, that's kind of like an obvious thing, but low-key, I don't even know if they have a shot because if anyone, Beal, Book, Durant, if they miss any part of anything, they can't do it because I see Book get this time, and it's the supporting cast is not great. Not even they should be able to. I think the supporting cast sucks. That's my problem with this overreaction is the depth chart still sucks in Phoenix. You're still just got Durant, Beal, and Book. If they aren't playing, they're screwed. And mainly Kevin Durant, I think he's such a glue on both ends, and the offense can just go through him because he's big. You see the offense try to go through Book sometimes with no one else out there, and it's tough because he's smaller, and sometimes, there were games they were just sending doubles, and they were not. They were pinching on the help coverage, and you just couldn't get a bucket. So Book, I know he did have that huge game against Minnesota, which I love you, D-Book, but that's my overreaction is I just don't know if they really even have a chance. They don't have a Max Strus. They don't have a Karis LeVert, not a Norman Powell. I think they need something else. And Tyus Jones is a great addition, but I don't know. For my surprise in the Western Conference, we got to give a team of flowers because I don't know how many more times I'm going to mention them this season, but it's the Portland Trailblazers. 3 in a row, baby. They won 3 in a row. They're at 6-8, and they beat Minnesota twice, and then they oh my gosh, Atlanta. They beat Atlanta, which is nice. I mean, that's good dubs. Shaedon Sharpe, hold up, because it was Simons is on this crazy ascension, Damian Lillard and Simons. Simons, they're nah, Lillard, it's okay because we got Simons, and Simons has not been great this season. More on that later. But Shaedon Sharpe had a huge game. They got Rob Williams back, and he was, Time Lord was phenomenal. Donovan Clingan is great as well. So it's right now, they got to get rid of Ayton. I think they got to get anything they can get for DeAndre Ayton and say, see ya, because you got to build this team out around Clingan and Rob Williams, which is kind of a little bit of that punch that Boston was trying to hit. It's interesting because the Blazers have always had these guys, and I just think they're still in this tanking mode of we want the next big guy, we want the next great guy. I think they just start trying to win, and I think they can do it. So 6-8, but 3 in a row, I'll give it to Portland. And then finally, my red alert panic, it's the Minnesota Timberwolves. I was not high on them coming into the season. They're 8-6 right now. I think they've won 2 in a row, but that doesn't do anything for me because every time I watch them, they just gross me out. Even worse than in the past because Randall just kind of clogs the offense. I've mentioned it probably every episode of this, I swear, so far. I just think they're gross. Their only good win really was Denver, so they have 7 other wins against lower competition. Denver's been weird up and down this season as well, so my red alert is that Minnesota might not make the playoffs. Honestly, maybe they could squeeze in the bubble or the play-in, but I am not high on Minnesota right now. All right, moving to the Eastern Conference with the teams, my overreaction is the Bucks are cooked. They're done. I don't even want to hear about them the rest of the season. They're done. That's my overreaction. They're 5-9. And I don't think getting Middleton back is going to solve their problems, which is defensively they don't have an anchor. Nothing's happening defensively, and you got to go down the court and it's let's go Giannis bully ball. Let's go Giannis from the elbow. Let's try to get a pick and roll. Get some kind of down action for Dame coming into something. Nah, let's just go Giannis bully ball. Like, and I'm sick of watching it. Like, I can't do it. I love Dame. I love what Giannis can do. He's so gifted athletically, but they don't have another guy. And I mean, there's kind of a reason that people moved on from Taurean Prince, I think. I don't know. I think Doc, you got to get out of there, man. Go to Cancun, get out of there. I don't know. I mean, Celtics really stole their success with Drew Holiday. Let's be honest. He took what they had, and he's now in Boston, and Boston is thriving. So you messed up. You messed up the one guy you really needed to keep, and yeah, that's where we're at. Next up, my surprise, which is low-key not a surprise to me because I called it, but it's the Detroit Pistons. And I mean, you guys, they're 7-9, but like so is like all the Eastern Conference is at 500 right now. But the Pistons, man, they're 2-0 in the NBA Cup. They could definitely get out of their group. Cade Cunningham has looked great because he's actually he's being aggressive. He's pulling up, he's shooting the shots against Cleveland, he was taking the shots that they're giving him. I think he's at 23, 7, and 9 right now. These are numbers you want Cade to be having right now, and I think it's something that you can really build out around towards the future. And I mentioned it because I thought the Pistons had guys that want to win. They have guys that are out there to still prove something, like Beasley, Tim Hardaway, Tobias Harris. They have all these guys that still want to hoop. They're not trying to give up. So that's why I thought the Pistons could be it. And they're my League Pass team. I watch them almost every day when they got a game because they're the earlier slot and they're always playing hard. So shout out Pistons right now. Then red alert, panic. It is for everyone in the Eastern Conference not named the Boston Celtics because barring some crazy injury to Boston, all other 14 teams are not making the NBA Finals. I said it. That's my panic. No one looks good enough to beat Boston in a 7-game series. Maybe a best of one, do or die, one game. I don't know. Everyone else, and I get it that the record might not. I'm not even just talking about the record because everyone is 500 basically. I'm just talking about the way the teams look. I don't see it from anyone. The only team I think that could pull it together is New York. And I even think they might need another season to get the continuity together and actually make that run in. But I don't see it with Philly. Even if they get healthy in time, I don't think they can make the push. The Bucks, I'm not talking about them. The Magic, I just don't think they have enough scoring power yet to keep up with Boston. Is that it? I mean, the Pacers, maybe if they can get into a shootout every game, but we saw them sweep them last time. So it's just everyone else's chances in the East to make the finals because the Celtics are just looking unstoppable to me. Moving back to the Western Conference, we're going to go through the players now. And my first overreaction is James Harden cannot shoot the basketball anymore. I don't know what has happened to the beard. I mean, he's turned into he's always been a great facilitator, but he's really the engine in LA, and he's really been really good. He has a negative plus or minus. For a team that's playing pretty good is kind of weird. He's shooting 37% from the field, about 30 from 3. Guys, he's taking a lot of shots, too. It's not just he's not taking shots, So, I don't think he can shoot the ball. I don't know what it is, if he's just trying to take too many tough shots, which I do see him do a lot. But free throws are really saving him because he's top 15 in the NBA in free throws as well. But shooting-wise, I think the beard is cooked. My surprise, I got 2, and I'm going to read off the stats right here so you know exactly what I mean by this. Number 1, De'Aaron Fox. This man has been pouring it on. I've loved De'Aaron Fox because he was he still is my late night League Pass team with the Sacramento Kings. I watch them all the time for years now. Right here. All career highs right now. Points per game, 28.8. 28.8 from Fox. Most free throws, 5.5. 84% from the line as well. 5 boards, career high. 5.7 assists is pretty good for him. He does have higher years, but he's been cooking. Man had 60. Followed up by having 49. You having back-to-back games like that? Nah, and he's smooth. You watch Swipe a play, and he's just smooth. He cooks them. I love it. I love watching him play. If you haven't, seen a lot of De'Aaron Fox, please watch him, because I think he's still one of the most underrated players in the NBA, and he is so nice with it. So that's my number 1. Number 2, last night specifically, too, but Dalton Connect. I have talked about him being a potential 6-man Rookie of the Year style player if the Lakers can find out a good rotation to get him in the game with not just the backups, but LeBron and AD in there so they can work off each other. And last night he cooked. I mean, they almost blew that game, honestly, but 37 last night, 9 3 balls, and he was just unconscious. That stretch in the third, oh, I was just sitting there just like, let's go, connect. You saw him in college, this man can hoop. He's sneaky athletic too, and I think he has a pretty good like trajectory in his career to be a great player. So I love him. I hope the Lakers continue to put him in the lineups and get him good rotation minutes because he should be playing well over 20 minutes a game. I'm sorry, throw D'Lo on the bench and let Reeves come in there and man it as a 1 and then put Connect in there too. So that's just kind of some thoughts, but I think Connect should definitely be in there a lot. And then finally, I mentioned it earlier that I was going to talk about it later. It is Anthony Simons is my panic. He is red alert right now because this man can't shoot the ball either. I don't know if he caught the James Harden disease right now, but it's just been a slow start, I think, to this season for him. He's at about 38% shooting, under 30% from 3, and every time I watch him play, he doesn't look very confident, if I'm being honest. It looks like he's kind of just deferring to Shaedon Sharpe. Field goal attempts aren't as high as they've been. I think it's like 4 or 5 less. And I get it that you kind of, no, because you even have, I just went back on myself. You have like almost the same cast. Like Klingon's not taking away shots from you. Rob Williams just came back. And Scoot's playing great, but like he's not taking away from what Simon should be doing. And I mean the fit with Simon Sharpe should be good, but Simons has had a really slow start this season. I hope he picks it up because I've liked him, but not good from him so far. Eastern Conference time. Another player that can't shoot the ball. I don't know what is going on this season, but my overreaction is Trae Young can't shoot the ball anymore. Like, what's going on? Like, insanely career. I think it's like 7 or 8 percentage points lower. He's at 38% from the field. I think it's like mid-30s from 3. He's at about 22 points a game. And I get it that he's always been a great facilitator, but he's really getting his other teammates involved. Jalen Johnson's been great. Dyson Daniels has been really good and solid defensively. Could be a defensive player of the year candidate. Okongwu, Capella comes in a little bit, Bogey, but like, I think the Hawks need him to be a little bit more, and I mean, you can't have him shoot like this for the whole season and expect to actually go somewhere. The Hawks have been pretty good this season so far, but with this, I just want to see Trae Young shoot the ball again. I thought he's still hitting 3 threes a game, and like, I think he's just been maybe a slower start, and he doesn't look as comfortable shooting. I don't know. He's not washed at all, but I just think it's been a slow start. Surprise in the East. I got 2 again, and this is major flowers. I'm going to read them off again because I want to get it right. Jared McCain. Everyone was clowning this boy. And I mean, he's a hooper. We saw him play ball in college. Like, he's a hooper, and everyone just kept clowning him. I mean, yeah, we saw him dance a bunch, but like, he's been having 15 a game. And he's had some big games with he's been needing to step into a role, and he has been crazy in the NBA. Like 5 straight games of over 20. He's playing really well in like a weird situation because you saw Maxey being thrown into that, and he was like chucking the ball 30 times a game, just trying to keep Sixers alive. And I think McCain's been pretty good in that role as well, just having to score the basketball, but also trying to like run the offense. And I like what I've seen from him so far. Now the real one is Mr. Tyler Hero. He deserves his flowers. He's over 24 a game right now. And this kid we've all known he'd be able to score, but the crazy thing is, I think he's like 24 years old. It feels like Tyler Hero's been in the NBA for like 15 years. I ain't even gonna lie. But he's had huge performances. He's over, I think he's like 4.5 threes a game. Miami's playing like typical Miami, but like, I just like him. And I mean, every time, it's him and Donovan Mitchell. Every time they shoot the basketball, I'm like, it's going in. I don't care where it's from, what kind of shot it is. When that ball releases off their hand, I'm like, oh shit, it's going in. And he's one of them. And so I'm really glad that he's playing super well because I like him. He's a guy that should be getting some praises because he's so much more than just a spot up JJ Redick style 3-point shooter. And I don't think people really get that about him. He's really good facilitator, really good coming off like DHOs and stuff like that. So I like what both of these guys have done this season. Finally, the Eastern Conference player that I am panicking, it is Joel Embiid. Panic, panic, panic. This man should sit out. He was talking about not playing back-to-backs. He should not be playing at all. He should not even be dressing. I don't know he does not look healthy. He looks fatigued while he's playing. He's still at about like 30 minutes for the last couple games he's been playing, but you need official stats right here. Look at this. 32% from the field, 15% from three. The 76ers aren't healthy, but, like, I don't think it's an excuse for Embiid. Like, just because the guys around him aren't, is what I'm saying, is that he's playing poor. I don't think he's ready to be back. So I think they need to sit him. I think he needs another 5. Like, it's just a couple weeks, really. But he is not looking great. Paul George is not really been healthy either. Maxey either. The team is disjointed. It's giving Pelicans, and they're losing the season really quick because I love Maxey, and I love what Philly could be. I love Yabusele. Keep balling, my guy. But, yeah. That's my panic. It's kind of just the Sixers in general, too. That's going to do it for the episode today, though. Let me know what you guys thought. Leave your, reactions. What do you guys think about the Eastern Conference predictions, all that good stuff down in the comments. I'm really excited for the upcoming weeks. The NBA Cup's getting into it. I think each team's probably got about 3 games right now, and it's been pretty good so far. I think the teams really care, which is good to see, because once the teams and players care, then the fans feel that energy, and I feel that energy watching the games, that people care. Except the Hornets, I think they should be investigated for sitting LaMelo Ball in the fourth quarter in a 1-point game against Brooklyn. In a cup game, that's hella sus. But yeah, that's my thoughts. Thanks for checking out the video today. We'll see you guys on the next one.